Hello and welcome back to the Truly Bedrock server. Now today we are going to be having a look at the two blaze spawners that we've got over the way there. And actually doing a bit of research into how spawners work now, because there's been some recent changes and somebody commented on one of my videos saying that light level spawning is 1, you're not going to get anything spawn underneath 1. I don't know that that's true. I haven't tested it, so that's something we're going to test today, so stay tuned for that. We're also going to be having a quick look at something that I got up to on stream that went a little bit wrong, and yeah, that'll be interesting. Also, let's have a quick look at those spawners whilst we're here. So basically, this is a very simple kind of layout here. We've just got a dual spawner setup. I disabled these guys a while ago just by throwing a bucket of lava over the top of them. That is the easiest way to disable a blaze spawner. Easy peasy, just throw a bucket of lava over the top. I normally cut a couple of notches in so the lava's got somewhere to flow, and that's it disabled completely. It's not going to spawn anything. If I remove that lava, hypothetically it should stop spawning pretty quickly. So anyway, we're going to have a quick look at the thing about things spawning at light level 1, or not spawning at light level 1 anymore. Also, the Enderman farm seems to be doing quite alright in my opinion. It's doing okay. We've now got a little shop set up, it's doing alright, it's lovely. And yeah. Let's go. Right, before we do the technical stuff, I just thought I'd show you this, because this is kind of technically interesting as well. Now, as you can see, this is where I decided to fight 8 withers for fun, for lols. And as you can also see, we've got the dark sky effect, so there's still withers around here. But where are they? I hadn't seen this before. But apparently they're up here somewhere. And I'm not even sure where anymore. Somewhere up at like plus 1k, maybe 1, 2. I don't know. They're going to be flapping around here doing whatever. I don't know. Last seen somewhere up here. Anyway, I did not know this, but apparently the withers will sort of take aim at each other. And because they don't really hit each other, they just keep on going up and up and up and up and up and up until I want to cry. I lost 4 withers up here. And they're never coming down, they're just going to be a pain, which is a pain in itself. And here I am at plus 1300 doing wide circles trying to find them again. Can I see them? No. Anyway, the point is, I don't think they're going to be a major problem. So, we're going to kind of ignore them. And they just get to stay there, and we get to fly downwards. Right, first things first is, we need to establish that nothing else has changed with this particular setup. So, the usual way that mobs would spawn around a mob spawner would be like 4 out on each axis, and then sort of in a diamond, and then 1 above and 1 below, and that's usually where the foot would actually spawn into. So the foot block would like land right here, not the head block. So yeah, let's just test that. Okay, to establish whether the spawning area around this spawner has changed, well, what I normally do is I normally cover this shape in glass and I just test it and I wait and see. I've established that the spawner's already working. I use cave spiders because they're particularly small and they just need a 1 by 1 block to spawn in. So it doesn't matter about head or foot or anything like that, it's straightforward. And basically I've already been waiting around here for a little while and there's been nothing, and if I break one piece of glass like there, give it a couple of minutes, yeah, there we go. We've established that that is definitely a thing. So, next, we need to know what distance it is that it activates from. Now, this was always 16 blocks from, like, the northwest corner, I believe, so it got a bit weird. So we're going to retest that, just to be 100% sure, once again. And we'll eventually get around to the light level testing, because that's going to be the really interesting one, but we're going to get there later. First, I want to make sure that everything else is exactly as it was and as it should be. Right, so it looks like it is still 16 blocks, but it looks like it's 16 blocks from the middle of the block, weirdly. You know, whatever, it doesn't matter hugely, it's just a matter of precision. But as you can see, we've got 15 blocks going out in each of the cardinal directions out there. In the vertical it goes up 13 and down 15, which kind of proves that it's from the top of the head, because the 13 plus the height of the player. And you can probably see down there that it's on. If I go one further up, it's off. So it's from the top of the head or somewhere in the eye line. It's not hugely important about the half blocks. And how do we know that it's a sphere? Because basically, I say it's a sphere from the player, I think, more than from that. Well, actually no, it doesn't matter, it's the same difference. Basically, it's a sphere around the place. So if you have a look at this, you can see that we've gone out on the diagonal. The diagonal there is around about 11 blocks, which is the correct distance if it was a circle, and if we're going up on the upward diagonal, that's about 9 blocks, which is about the correct distance if it was a sphere, of course. So yeah, I think we can bank on that one. That's pretty good. Right, the next experiment is we want to prove how far away the mobs need to be from the spawner for the spawner to think they're far enough away to spawn more, if that makes any sense. And we're going to work on the mob cap as well. So I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed. I'm pretty sure it's 5 mobs in the area, but I don't remember these things. I always have to test them. And that's what I'm doing right now. Well, this one is a little bit unexpected. I just watched back, I just double checked back on one of the videos that I'd done on this before, just to see what the mob spawning area was. And when I say mob spawning, the blocking area. So the area within which, if you've got a number of mobs of the correct type relevant to the mob spawner, that it would stop spawning. And it seems to have changed. These guys, I've got 7 of these guys up here, and this is still spawning. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to spend a little bit of time right now just doing a little bit of figuring out. I mean, it may be that it's, which way are we going? It may be that it be off in this direction. So from here, because that's sometimes a thing. So in fact, let's just test that right now whilst we've got you guys here. Right, so it turns out that I was kind of right and I must have forgotten something. Basically, it is a 16 by 16 area, and it goes 3 above the spawner and 3 below the spawner, and it is offset to the negative corner of the spawner. So if you want to be really, really precise, then make it like this: 16 by 16 offset towards a negative corner of the spawner. So as you can see, my coordinates are going down as I'm going this way, and that is your center point of your 16 by 16. So then it goes 8 in that direction, 8 in that direction, 7 plus the spawner in that direction, 7 plus the spawner in that direction, 8 in that direction. Okay, and then it's 3 below and 3 above the spawner level. So as you can see, we've got quite a few of these guys over here just spawning quite happily. Let's just throw some mobs in here, some of the cave spiders, and then what we'll see is we'll have stopped that spawner working completely. So you've just got to get it outside that area. If you're not caring about being absolutely accurate, then just make it a 17 by 17 centered on the spawner. 17 by 17 by 7. Okay, so whatever you do, do not have your mobs collecting ready for a kill within that space. And when I say within that space, I mean any part of the mob. So if this were a blaze spawner, then we'll be saying don't get the feet in there, don't get the head in there. So if you're doing like a water collection system on your skelly spawner, then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 1, 2, 3 again, and that's going to be your water layer right there, and then you're going to have a floor layer right there. So your floor layer is going to be, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 below the spawner, and that would be your floor layer. And the reason that I'm saying that is because you'd have water up here, and then you'd have the height of the mob bobbing up and down in the water, and that would push them just inside. If they bobbed really above the water, then they'd actually be stopping that spawner ever so slightly. You'd lose a slight rates. So if you want to be really, really good, you go 8 below. If you don't really want to be that good, then just go 7 below, and that will minimize it, but still give you the maximum kind of rates. You maybe lose 1 or 2 every, I don't know, few hundred, not a big deal. Whereas if you have it higher than that, you're going to be stopping the spawner a heck of a lot. Next up is the mob cap. Has that changed? I don't think it has, but let's just start off. I'm going to turn on cheat engine to get this rolling, because that will make sure that the test happens very quickly. Okay, that is it running. So we should get mobs spawning here pretty regularly. So we're going to start off with... Ooh, heck. No, that... too fast. Well, there you go. The problems with Cheat Engine. Too cheaty. I'm going to stop that for a moment. We're going to start off with 4 mobs. In fact, we'll just start off with 5, because that's what I think it's going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to just wait for a few moments and see if we get any mobs spawning over there. If we do get any cave spiders spawning over there, then we know that it's more than 5. So let's just crank up the cheat engine. Ooh, we're getting 1. That's very interesting. Can't remember if they changed it to 6 or something, but anyway, we've got 1 then, so I'll crank it up to there now. Let's turn that back on. So... yeah, we're not getting any spawns there at all right now. And just to prove the theory, we break that and we should start getting like odd ones. Yeah, there we go. And then we put 1 more in there, like 10 more in there, I don't know. Anyway, the point is that it seems to be working. So it looks like the cap is at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just stop this for a second. We'll put 1 in there. And then we'll crank this all the way up to 11. Game's now running at 50 times speed. Yeah. It's definitely 6. Now we're on to the fun one. I suspect that this is the one that people have been waiting to see, and that is, will light levels make a difference to whether this spawns? So let's just go straight in here. I've got a little command set up. I haven't actually tested this, so this is going to be an interesting one to me. Right, so what we're saying is, replace where I am, -4, -4 in each direction, +4, +4, so that should be the entire area. I'll tell you what, we're going to make it a little bit bigger just to be 100% sure. So we're going to go up to 6. There's no question that this is going to be enough space. And then we're going to go down to -4. So that should mean that everything around this spawner is going to be replaced with light block 1. Okay? So first of all, I'm just waiting for a set of spawns, which just happened there. So I know that this is definitely working. Right. Technically, there is light level 1 around this entire spawner now. Now, is this going to make it stop or not? I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I'm curious. We might have to wait a little while. But whilst we're waiting, I'm going to turn on the cheaty engine and we're going to apply that. That is now up to speed 50 times. We are getting 0 spawns in there. Now that is super interesting to me. Because before it was about light level 7 was the place. Now at light level 1, not getting a darn thing. So the thing that we need to test now is, does that make a difference for different mobs? So I'm just going to spend a couple of seconds now getting all of the spawn eggs queued up, ready to put into this thing and see how it goes. Right, we're ready. To make this fair, I'm going to give it like a couple of minutes at speed 50 for each. So I might as well crank it straight up now, and then we can just do one test after another, because it's not a big deal for me to look down and do that. I'll tell you what, we'll turn it down to level 20 or something, because at this rate, if things spawn, we might actually miss it. So that's a little bit slower. Okay, so we've already done Cave Spider. We know what's going to happen there. We don't need to worry about it. I'm going to put that on the no line. This is the no line. So we've got a normal spider next. Yep, I think it's safe to say that light level 1 there blocks that one as well. The ones which I'm really interested in, the ones which I think might be a little bit different, are going to be the blaze, the magma, and the silverfish. So I'm really intrigued to that, because honestly, a silverfish spawner is in a room in the stronghold where the light level is going to be above 1 everywhere, because there's lava within 4 blocks of it in each direction. So that's got to be a thing. That has to be a thing. It's got to be. Anyway, zombies. You can see the little thing in there has turned green. That's because there's a zombie spinning around now. That's a no. So this is light level 1 stuff right here. We've got our skeleton going around there now. Also a no. I think, you know, I don't need to wait too long. Right, the blaze, the magma, and the silverfish. Let's go. Blaze. They care not about light level 1. Right, we'll come back to the blaze. We'll do like second tests on these. This is like a split test to actually find out the things that we need to test more. Magma cubes, not a jot given apparently. And silvery fish. Really? Oh no, they're spawning. But they're just so small, we're missing them. Let's go down to like 5 times speed. So we should be able to capture that this time. I think. Yeah, there we go. There's a puff of smoke. I'm going to knock that right down to normal. I'm going to disable the speed hack, in fact. So we get to see it happen. There we go. That was it. So, as I suspected, there's basically your normal overworld spawners. Light level 1 is a problem. These 3 guys, a bit more of an issue. Right, let's have a look at how much it takes to turn off a blaze spawner. So if I stand in the middle right here, and then we go back up to there, and we're going to say light. We're going to ask it to replace a light block, and we're going to ask it to replace it at level 7. So this should be much brighter now, and we're going to go back in with the blaze. So you can see the blaze spinning around there kind of slowly now. And we're going to give that a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to turn it on up to 10. So light level 7, not a problem, they keep spawning. Alright, let's go up to... Well, we're going to do the logical thing. We're going to go 10 next. Light level 10, don't care, they're still going. Light level 13. 13 is a stopper. Let's go down to 12. That is also a stopper, I would say. Let's go 11. 11 is okay. By the looks of it. Yeah, 11 is okay. Right, so the blaze require light level 12 and above to despawn or to stop them from spawning. So let's go back up to 12 and then we'll move on to the next test. Because I remember when I was doing my test before, the magma cubes, you couldn't stop them from spawning with light. So that's just a thing. Let's see, we're going to start light level 12 on these ones. Yeah, they're still going. So let's just crank this straight up to 15, all the way up to the top. Still spawning. You can tell that the command's been working because it's showing it as being filled. So, can we actually go higher than 15? Just asking for a friend. Nope, it hates it. It does not like that. So 15 is the highest light level. Magma cubes will go up to light level 15. And still keep spawning. So you can't stop magma cubes from spawning from a spawner. Well, that is super interesting to me. I tell you what, because we're at light level 15, and I think silverfish are just going to keep spawning anyway, let's just do it. We're going to turn this all the way back down to where it's meant to be. So we're just going to get the normal speed. Right, it's light level 15 right now. Not seeing any real spawns going on. I'd have expected some by now. I'm just going to crank this up to level 2. Okay. Okay. So, full light stops them. Right, let's go to where the blaze was, which was 11. We're still at double speed here. Oh, there we was. Right, okay. So if we assume that it was the same as Blaze. Let's go for 12. Whoops. We're now at double speed still. Not seeing anything, not hearing anything. I think that's reasonably conclusive. Yep, silverfish will stop spawning light level 12. Okay, so I think that's really, really interesting. You can kind of not have... We're going to reorganize this a tiny bit. Right, so I've switched all these up a little bit so that you can kind of see the differences. You've got your standard overworld spawners that you might find pretty much anywhere in the world, and they need light level 1 to stop things spawning. Then you've got your silverfish up here, which needs light level 12, your blaze, which needs 12, and then your magma cubes, which frankly you cannot stop spawning. So the best way to deactivate your cave spiders, your zombies, your skeletons is with a torch. So if I do that and then I stand on top and we replace all of the light blocks with air, then switch it up to a spider spawner. We're going to turn that up to 10. Yep, you see, one torch on top disables the spider spawner like it always has. One cave spider, same with a torch. You got your zombie, exactly the same. Skeleton spawner, exactly the same. Now, if you want to stop your silverfish or your blaze, then we're going to dump a... I think I need to disable this. There we go. If you want to stop your blaze or your silverfish, then a bucket of lava over the top will do the job. But what you want to be sure is that the lava is flowing across the top, down each side, at least to that level, at least one block below. And that'll stop it from spawning. And then finally, we've got the Magma Spawner. There is only one way to stop the Magma Spawner from spawning. Let's have a look in there. There you go. It's like this. Bop. That is the only way to stop the Magma Spawner from spawning.